So YouTube has made one of their most bizarre changes in a while where they're actually changing the font of the entire website. They're using like this weird like impact looking font now, and if you don't have this change yet, you probably will soon. YouTube tends to roll out updates slowly for some people, so some people have it currently and others don't. It also seems to be mainly mobile at the moment, but YouTube is infamous for rolling out updates without actually telling anybody and then making them permanent regardless of whether people like the update or not. So the font on my YouTube app for the videos is completely changed. I googled it and it says it's based on the phone set font style and size. However, no other font is like this on my phone, and it's still set to the default font. Any idea of why this is or how to fix it? Update. Turns out it was an update. Why would they change the font to this though? As far as I can tell, you can't change it. And this is another thing about YouTube. They tend to make weird UI changes that you cannot change or revert. And no, this is not just happening for Samsung users. This is happening for any type of mobile user out there. And eventually we'll probably go over to PC as well. As you can see, the font is completely different to how it used to be. In fact, we can actually do a direct comparison right now. This was YouTube's old font, and I don't really know the names of the fonts and stuff, but I mean, you can see a clear difference over here. This one is a lot taller and more like rigid looking. It looks a little bit more robotic. And yeah, it's just YouTube just keeps making like these weird UI changes that nobody asked for or wanted. And then when they are going to be getting huge backlash for this, which I imagine they will, again, this font looks really weird, they aren't going to change it at all. I mean, it's just really weird. It feels like YouTube's UI team, like maybe they'll get fired or something if they don't make like some weird useless change to YouTube's UI every week or so, because this is far from the only change that YouTube has made recently, and they just keep changing the UI over and over again to the point where it's kind of hard to get used to it. The font of YouTube has been the same for a very, very long time, and I know it sounds dramatic, but changing the font of YouTube almost kind of changes the identity of YouTube. This is what the default font looks like on YouTube right now, and I'm just letting you guys know, I don't remember this font changing in like the last few years or so. This has become the identity of YouTube, and it even sounds kind of weird, but even like your muscle memory is triggered to like recognize YouTube just based on the font that you're seeing a video title in. Again, I know it sounds dramatic or whatever, but regular users of YouTube know exactly what I'm talking about. The font of YouTube is something iconic at this point, right? You look at it and you're like, wow, that's a YouTube title. I can just tell. That's a YouTube description. I can just tell. Even things like the view numbers or the day a video is uploaded or whatever, those are things that you can tell are from YouTube based on the specific font. So I'm not Nostradamus or anything like that, but I'll just go ahead and predict on how you guys are going to react about this. Most of you guys are going to hate this. Most people on Reddit hate this. Most people on Twitter already hate this, right? And I understand that, people can be negative on the internet for no reason sometimes, but I feel like they're totally in their right on this one. I mean, just look at this. It just doesn't really make any sense. The font is completely different to how it used to be, and it just makes me feel weird because it's just like YouTube just keeps making these weird changes, and one, they never warn us, and two, they don't even seem to care whether we like it or not. So for example, they changed the like button on shorts to a heart button right now. And remember, YouTube has their own unique identity of having a like and a dislike button, or at least they used to before they removed the dislike counter. But regardless, the whole like and dislike button is iconic on YouTube. Old people like me will remember when YouTube used to actually not have a like and dislike button and actually had a star system instead, but that has been gone on YouTube for many, many years now. So the whole like and dislike button has been an iconic part of YouTube for a very long time. I mean, this is what it used to look like over here. And for, decades now, YouTube has had a like and dislike button. So for them to change it and to make it look like, I don't know, TikTok or Instagram, it's like, I don't know why they're trying so desperately to be other social medias. It just makes me feel really weird. And it makes it feel like YouTube is trying to turn the website into a doom scrolling phone thing as opposed to the long form video website that it's always been. And again, like I said, this is far from the only change that YouTube has made to the UI. Obviously, I'm sure you guys know, YouTube has also bumped up the likes onto the description next to the channel username as opposed to having the like button counter right next to the like button. Here's somebody discovering a glitch over here where like the like views and minutes that the video is uploaded ago, it's just all like jumbled into one, like it almost looks like one combined word. And that's another thing with YouTube. Not only do they make these UI changes over and over again, but they also have all these bugs as well. Like I said, people are not happy about this change and people are expressing their discomfort over here. Apparently their standard font was called Roboto, and they have apparently changed it to YouTube Sans Condensed for video titles on its main mobile feed. The ultra compact display font features stylized angular cuts matching YouTube's branding identity, sharply contrasting with the wider geometry of the old system font. I mean, again, I'm not some sort of font expert or whatever, but that was the first thing that I noticed. I noticed that the font looked really like tight, and it looked like the text was like taller than normal. It almost looks like the text got like smashed together, like it started taking Ozempic or something like that. And people are complaining because now users are noting reduced readability for multi-line titles on small screens, though navigation bars and settings menus remain unaffected. Over the last few days, people started noticing that the text across main home feed suddenly looked completely different. Google is quietly testing a new look, swapping out the classic clean Android system font for one whose look seems to match a much tighter corporate sibling called YouTube Sans Condensed for the app. Apparently, it is just an A/B test right now, meaning only a select few users are able to get it. But again, it seems like quite a lot of users have it because I've seen tons of posts on Reddit specifically about the new font. And so this is kind of a thing that YouTube has been going through for years now, where it seems like they're trying to take a more minimalistic approach to the website, trying to be more like, hey, look, less is more, but in fact, we're going to make it more by just constantly changing the UI over and over again. For years, the default font kept things simple. Roboto uses wide, round, natural shapes to give the letters plenty of breathing room. It is designed by Google to be highly readable on small screens. They were using that font on purpose, so even right now, when we're looking at this image, it is easy for us to read because it's more of like a wide font that you can just see from really far away. But now this one is like ultra compact display font, meaning the letters stretch vertically and squeeze together horizontally. It brings a lot more brand personality to the table. I mean, I guess, but I mean, I wouldn't really put it like that. It makes the titles look so robotic and it just looks so weird to me. Like, right, as a daily user of YouTube, I can't wrap my head around this font becoming the default. It just looks so strange to me. And so people, as I said earlier, have been talking about some complaints and some issues that have been popping up because of this, right? Because the letters are so compressed, dense lines of text blend together. For many users, trying to quickly scan a 2-line video title now feels like a chore, which explains a sudden wave of complaints popping up on Reddit. They say the experiment is currently highly restricted, with it only showing up for a few people and only showing up on video titles and channel names. But again, as somebody who has used YouTube for many, many years and has been making videos about YouTube for many, many years, they tend to just make changes like this without telling anybody. And then even if people don't like the change, they just go ahead and implement it anyways. You guys remember the dislike counter being removed? I mean, do you think people liked that change? Of course not, right? Everybody was talking about how stupid that is. And even we're offering YouTube suggestions like, hey, why don't you just make it so a viewer actually has to watch like 30% of a video before they can dislike it or something, right? They were offering solutions, but they're like, no, we're just gonna get rid of it completely. But anyways, interactive elements like the top carousel buttons for different topics and the icons in the bottom navigation bar keep the classic layout, so it's mainly just video titles and channel names. But the recommendations carousel uses controversial YouTube sans condensed font, which is currently under testing. The font change does not affect the video names when entering YouTubers' channels. So like over here, you can see the title of the playlist is still the old font, but the actual videos in the playlist itself are now the new weird font. And again, like I said, this is far from the only change that YouTube has made recently. They've been changing the like button to where like the likes are now in the description. They obviously changed the like button to a heart on mobile, like YouTube Shorts and stuff. We can do a direct side-by-side comparison over here. This is what YouTube used to look like in more recent memory, where the like button was right over here and everything in the description and stuff was set separate. But now the like and dislike button, neither one of them have an actual counter next to them anymore. And now the like button is like smashed up here. Now it makes everything look really tight and weird, where like the view number, like button, and the hours ago that it was uploaded are all like crammed into this one space. And they even put the channel name up here, crammed it all into one line. It just seems so weird. Again, it looks like they're trying to take this more minimalistic approach where they're like slamming all these words together and stuff, but it just makes everything look all weird and tight. And now they're changing the same thing with the actual font of the website, right? Now, again, this is more of the classic font that we're all used to, but now the font looks completely different and I just don't like it. I understand that YouTube wants to adapt and they want to change, right? I guess they feel threatened from some of these other like short form content, like on Instagram and TikTok or whatever. But YouTube at this point has just essentially forgotten who they are. They are a primarily long form video sharing website and they completely dominate the entertainment space. I don't know if YouTube has just never heard that phrase before, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Why do you guys keep making these updates that everybody hates? And I guess they just do it because they can. It's not like YouTube has an alternative or anything. It's not like anybody can step up to YouTube. So I guess they just keep doing it just to kind of like make a statement like, yeah, we're going to just keep changing these things and there's nothing you guys can do about it. But yeah, let me know what your guys' thoughts are on the situation in the comments. I don't like this new font at all. I'm going to assume that you guys don't either. YouTube insists on making these random changes and nobody likes. And it just gets to the point where I just want to know why. Why YouTube? Why don't you guys ever want to listen to us? But yeah, please leave a like on the video if you enjoyed it and subscribe for more. See ya.